thousands of dollars for 5 minutes on stage. Woohoo!
Thousands of dollars for 5 minutes on stage.
Woohoo!
Well, that's annoying.
I think about the amount of hours. I was doing cardio 40 minutes in the morning, 40 minutes post-workout. That's 80 minutes of cardio a day.
Oh, it's so much cardio. It's 80 minutes a day. Do you think that's all the cardio I've ever done? I remember doing my March break 2 hours a day, 14 hours. I remember doing 10 hours cardio a week minimum. That was my goal. And that was throughout prep, start to finish. 10 hours of cardio per week. It wasn't a lot. This is a guy that used to do triathlons. 10 hours of cardio a week. This is my time off. I'm only going to do 10 hours. I'm going easy. I'm going to save myself so that I can train harder than last time in the weights. You thought I was going to say it was a lot of cardio, 10 hours a week? I was doing 20 training for triathlons. And this is the guy with asthma. I got the bronchial dilators. I got everything. When I was in grade 6 and doing all those fitness tests at school, and I was getting close to last place, I said, what is going on? I'm doing the most push-ups, sit-ups. I got the crazy long jump, and I'm breaking records in the shuttle run. But I can't run a mile fast. Why? And so what do you think I did? Do you think I quit? No, I started running every freaking single day around the ball field. People see me run doing practice. I did a lot of cardio.
I think I was doing 6 sessions a week. You know how many hours of my life I spent on the treadmill? I was spending like 4 hours in the gym a day.
How does that add up to 4 hours a day? We had 80 minutes of doing cardio. That's an hour and 10. And so there was 2 hours and 50 minutes left lifting weights. What kind of coach did you have? You don't need to lift weights and do cardio for 4 hours a day. You don't.
When I tell you prep consumes your life, it consumes your life.
It doesn't have to consume your life. It doesn't have to do anything. How much of my life do you think it would consume if I decided to do a competition? I don't know, let's say, what did she die for? 7 months? 7 months from now. How much would it consume my life? Oh, I could compete in 7 days. You've seen me. Could I not compete in 7 days? Would I do all right? Would I win a pro show? Probably not. But would I look good enough to set up on stage and be proud of what I've done? Absolutely. And so if I woke up tomorrow and someone said, hey, Coach Greg, could you come out and guest pose? I would say, yes, sure. Give me the proper tan and I'm on it. And so how is that bad? How am I wrong for believing these things? To believe that you can be healthy year-round, that you don't need to get fat in the off-season, that you can maintain, that you can look good year-round. Now, am I saying you should be on single-digit body fat year? No. I said you should be healthy. For men, it's about 15% body fat and or perhaps a little bit less, 10 to 12, if you want to be lean and aesthetic. For women, 25% body fat. But what about to be lean and aesthetic? 18 to 22% body fat. Mepsogram, I measured her, she's 18.2%. So she's right there. She's on the lower end for body fat levels for girls, and she looks fantastic. And so what is wrong with that? Now, if she hired some other coach, what do you think they would say? You need to bulk up, put on 15 pounds. You need to eat more carbs. Wow, this is fun. I'm eating all the food. Then what? Oh, you need to now starve yourself 50 grams of carbs a day and do a bunch of torturous cardio that you don't like. Only Mepsogram loves riding and racing bikes, and she used to run. I convinced her, you know what, if you really want to put on some muscle, you're going to have to stop doing all that running because it tears down your quadricep muscles. There's too much eccentric load on each and every step. You're landing with 5 times the force of your body, and so those micro tears are making it harder than last time to add extra muscle. And so if you switch from running to biking, and you train, and you eat from my frigging cookbook, what do you think the results are going to be? Do you think that you're going to enjoy your diet? Do you think you'll like your food? Do you think you'll be more full? I'm certain that you will. And of course, if you have lower levels of testosterone from dieting, G-Test Platinum. If you're trying to improve your cardio, GO2 Max. We know this. And by now, I certainly hope you know of GLP Max. If you can't afford the Ozempics and the Retatrutides, the Tirzepatides, which, by the way, if you're interested in some of these GLPs and so on, AlgoRx, click the link, much cheaper than competitors like Merrick Health, and use code Greg for 10% off. For HGLT supplements, code Greg, 15% off.
I was getting like consistently like 18,000 steps a day because my 10,000 step goal was outside of my cardio. So I was getting like 8,000 steps from cardio. So I was like, so I needed to get an extra 10,000. I remember one day I got like 15,000 steps and it ate at me. I'm pretty sure I made up for that. I got like 24,000 steps like the next day. Like I was like, it was borderline, not even borderline. It was messed up. Like it was starting to like consume me.
Yeah, it's borderline messed up. You know, it's a disorder to do 15,000 steps a day. It's just diabolical that you would be required to do that. All right, yeah, it's so horrible and diabolical to have fitness as a goal. You know, this is nothing when you like it. 15,000 steps is a minimum. I got a client, he's giving me his step counts, 29,000 one day, 31,000 the next. He likes walking. He enjoys it. He's in a new country and he's experimenting and he's having a good time. Called me up last night, said, hey, coach, I need a pep talk. How do I get a girl? We talked about that for 20 minutes. And so if you're looking for proper life coaching, give Coach Gliss a call. I have a lot of life experience, a lot of life coaching. And so why not learn from Coach Greg? Remember, click the link in the description, apply right now.
So the last 3 or 4 weeks, again, I don't remember. It's kind of a blur. Like a trauma, you know, it's like a trauma response, your brain like blocks it out.
You know it's a millennial when she's talking about the last month before a competition being a trauma response or trauma. Anyone that says the word trauma, I mean, it's okay that they've been through these things, but when they start using these words, it's coping. It's like, deal with your life.
Training as hard as I was, and my strength didn't drop that much. It did a little bit, and doing that much cardio on 50 grams of carbs, but here's the kicker. I was eating 35 grams of fat a day, and I had to include my fish oil in that.
All right, so that's 800 calories. 9 times 35 is 90, 180, 270 and a half, so 315. So 1,115 calories a day. 80 minutes of cardio. Here's an advice for the coaches out there. Don't drop your calories to below 1,200. If they need to eat less than 1,200 calories to lose weight, they're probably lying about what they're actually eating. And that happens almost all of the time. That's why all of my clients, every single one, has off meal plans every single day. I don't want them to cheat. I want them to know that eating off plan is part of the plan, because if you overly restrict people from the foods that they normally eat when the show is over, they are going to binge and binge harder than last time. They're going to develop an ED. It's almost 50%. Do you really want those odds weighing on you when you know that you were one of the causes of this? And so why do this? You can't eat anything but chicken, broccoli, and rice. Don't you want to be a bodybuilder? It's like, is this virtue signaling? What is this? What is this mentality of you have to do it my way or the highway? You can't have any condiments. You can't have a sauce. You can't drink a Diet Pepsi. Why can't you?
What's insane to me is I didn't, at that point, once I had gotten there, I wasn't even feeling hungry. I would finish my meals and I'd be like, satisfied.
She's too lean. I mean, I'm looking at this and she's too lean. Why didn't the coach say, hey, guess what? You need a cheat meal today. We're going to have an off meal plan. We're upping your calories by 500. We're going to do 40 minutes of cardio instead of 80. Only one session today. And why are we doing 2 sessions? Why not just one? Go to the gym once and get it done. You don't need to get up in the morning and do fasted cardio. It's not better than normal cardio. Why? All those extra cardio to end up on stage a little bit too lean and a little undersized in the upper body because you lost your muscles from over dieting. You ended up a little stringy. Sound familiar? It's because your coach over dieted you. And so why not for your first competition just show up in pretty damn good shape? You don't need to be leaner than you need to. Why not be a little bit less ripped than needed? Find out, do I actually like this enough to bother getting that shredded? Is it worth fucking up my hormones for 6 months being amenorrheic just to step foot on stage? When you could have dieted for probably 3 less months and done equally well without cooling up your body.
These movements where I'm talking and laughing and that didn't happen. I'd be sitting here like this and I was talking slower. And I wasn't laughing.
Yeah, it's called NEAT, non-exercise activity thermogenesis. It goes away. Your body is conserving every calorie possible. Shoulder check to see if cars are coming? Yeah, no. That's work. That's like a 0.2 of a calorie. I don't have energy for that. And I'm not kidding. That literally happens. When you diet this hard, literally is going to happen.
Some training sessions, literally, I would just sit there in between sets, just sitting. People probably thought I was like suicidal.
Yeah, you're literally sitting there at the gym thinking, how am I even going to complete this workout? I have absolutely no energy. I don't want to be here. The gym, which used to be my favorite place in the world, it's now a nightmare. It's from not eating enough.
So that is one thing that prep teaches you. Like, dude, you can do the hard things. This is like proving you can do the hard things, like to the absolute max.
Speaking of to the max, Turk Builder Max. Code Greg, 15% off.
So show day, so exciting. I get to get my tan and my makeup done and spend thousands of dollars for 5 minutes on stage. Woohoo!
And so with the blondie little shake of the head, I spent thousands of dollars for 5 minutes on stage. Yeah, you can tell she's not impressed. It was not worth it for this girl. And so why diet to this extent on your first competition if you don't even know if you like it? It makes no sense. It'd be analogous saying, I'm going to buy a swimming pool, spending 7 months building the pool, spending all kinds of money. You get the water in and you jump in the pool and you're like, I don't like swimming. Well, that's annoying. And so why not test it out first? Perhaps hold a little bit back. Don't invest 7 months training for this event, dieting to this extent, when you can just go up on stage. Does anyone think that she would have looked bad if she had a diet for a month or two less with perhaps 5% more body fat and looked healthy?
I had a thought on stage where I was like, damn, all that for this?
It's not about being on stage. Do you know what the least favorite part of competing for me was? Getting up on stage. Don't really like that part. I like everything leading up. I like the challenge, the diet, the cardio, the training, the getting leaner and flexing in the mirror and seeing that pump each and every workout looking a little bit better than last time, about the improvements. That's what it's all about. And then comparing, how did I look at this show to when I competed last year? Where were my improvements? It's about self-growth, self-improvement. That is the fun. Delayed gratification, putting some effort, some energy into something and getting the payoff later in time. It's not about 5 minutes of standing up on stage saying, hey, this is so fun, and flexing, or in her case, posing her derriere. It's not about that. If you think it's about that, if you think it's about the $15 plastic trophy or perhaps the $120 statuesque, it ain't about that either. It's about the journey.
I was literally on stage holding that stupid pose.
So people comment about me for commenting about women's bikini wellness and so on, trying to get rid of the abusive steroids that are going on in women's bodybuilding and so on, trying to, make the women's sport a little bit less overtly sexual. And then she comes up in here and, in her honest opinion, that stupid pose. And so you guys understand that I'm trying to help you ladies. I'm trying to explain what it's really like to compete. The good, the bad, the pros, the cons, the good, the bad, the ugly.
Holding that pose up there, and I was just like, wow. I just spent an entire year of my life working towards this, and I'm not having a good time.
Hey, if you didn't have a good time on stage, but you enjoyed the journey, can you see how it wouldn't matter? The journey takes up what? 99% of preparation. And so if you didn't like the part where you're on stage, but you enjoyed the first 99%, it would all be worth it. Hey guys, you know what? I had a great time dieting. I got to the stage. I didn't win. I placed last, but the entire journey was a blast. I looked the best I'd ever looked. I pushed myself harder than I ever had before. And I can't wait to do it again next year. I got 11th out of 11 girls, but next year I'm cracking the top 10. Which attitude is better? I won the show. I didn't like it. Which is better?
They said that I needed more upper body size, and I was like, really? Really?
And so more upper body size, and she's complaining. Really? More upper body size. Look at this. Well, you over dieted and so you lost some muscle. And last I checked, women's bikini competitors, most of them are on steroids. And so we don't know if you're natural or not. But how do you think most women get those muscles? Most are taking steroids. And so when the judges tell you you need to come in bigger, and oftentimes they'll also say you need to come in leaner, not in your case. You definitely dieted harder than last time. What do you think the coaches and the athletes are going to want to end up doing? I'll leave it at that.
I was so excited to be in my season of health. I can't wait to reverse. I'm so excited to be healthy again.
See, notice, I can't wait to be healthy again. Whether or not she was on performance-enhancing drugs, healthy again. When you're a competitor and you're this lean, you're not healthy. Your body fat is too low. You're amenorrheic. Hormones out of whack. You're not eating enough. If it weren't for the competition itself, what would every person in the world diagnose you as having? Doing all this extra cardio and starving yourself at extremely low levels of body fat, what would that be called? It starts with an A. I don't need to point it out.
Until you start putting body fat on, and you just kind of look like skinny fat. That's where I'm at right now. I have no ass. My glutes that I was so proud of, the great glutes, they're gone.
And so she says now she's skinny fat. Her glutes are gone. She's showing us the photo. Does she look skinny fat to you? And so what has she now developed? Well, I do believe it's called body dysmorphia. I'm not a psychologist. I can't diagnose her with that. But what do you think this is? Does anyone think that she looks bad at any phase of this diet? From the diet to the bulk, well, I would argue she was probably a little bit too lean for the competition. It's not that healthy. And at her peak bulk, well, a little bit more heavy than I would have liked. But everywhere else, hey, bravo. And so right now you look great. Stop complaining.
I dropped my coach. I can do this on my own, okay? I'm like, no, I was so sick of tracking my freaking food, and he wanted to slowly increase my calories, which I get that, but I was starving, and I was like, he also didn't want me to have any free meals, which that was the one thing where I was like, no, dude, I cannot.
No free meals, can't do this, gotta track that. Or you can hire Coach Gress.
And then we had our dinner and dessert. Everyone went to bed, and I didn't go to bed. I waited for my mom to shut her door. I went into the kitchen and got multiple snacks, ice cream, cookies, whatever, some Reese's. Made a few trips there, sneaking into the kitchen. I never did that before.
Yep, never did that before. But after you've done a bikini competition, after you've starved yourself for that long, after your ghrelin levels are freaking through the roof, screaming, punching you in the face, saying, eat. What do you think is going to happen? Now, you might be thinking this is bad. This is your body's self-defense mode from starving to death. These signals force you to try to eat because it's trying to get your body back to normal again in case you go through some kind of starvation yet again. I mean, your body doesn't know you're doing a body competition. Your body just thinks, hey, it's probably the winter time. It's the famine. 2,000 years ago, they would go months without food. And so, hey, she just went through a famine. You're saying there's cookies nearby? Yeah. You're eating all of them. What happens if you can't get food for another week?
You look so shredded. Dude, Nicole, you look awesome. I'm like, holy shit, you're so shredded. You're so jacked. You're so lean. You look amazing. I'm like, and then after the show is over, no one gives a shit anymore.
Yes, for so long, you're getting all the compliments. Oh my God, look at how good you look. Oh wow, look at your abs. Wow, what's your secret? Then all of a sudden you get up on stage and congratulations, perhaps you win. But now the show is over. Now you're getting some fat back on. Oh, those compliments are now gone. People aren't noticing you the same way. And so it's kind of like if you get married and everyone is at your wedding, 100 of your closest friends, and it's all about you. You're so special, it's your wedding day. And then all of a sudden the wedding's over and you go back home alone. Now, you have your husband with you, your wife, whatever, but you're not going to get all that external validation from other people. It's just you and your partner. That's like bodybuilding, only it's just you and you. You're by yourself. You're on your own. And so unless you have the mental fortitude, the self-esteem, the self-worth, the self-confidence to handle this, this sport isn't for you. don't do it unless you're prepared.
Another memory that I remember, I was getting dressed for a date, a little date night, and I was going through my roommate's closet trying to find something that would fit my body, my frail, skinny block of a body. And I was literally crying getting dressed for the date, like sending her pictures like, dude, I look like a little boy. Like,
does anyone think that she looked bad there? My frail, skinny boy body? I mean, why are we putting down men here? Like, do men say, oh, look at me, I look so bad, I look like a girl? I mean, she's still above average looking no matter what state she's in. And so imagine if this woman were like, I don't know, clinically obese, morbidly obese. Or imagine if she were a man and she were 5 feet tall.
And life isn't about what happens to you, it's about how you react to it.
And so in conclusion, you should race on Zwift. Subscribe, click the bell button, comment to boost the algorithm, like the video if you liked it. Don't forget to watch one of those two bloopers, of course. For all the supplements I talked about, go to the HDLT website, enter code Greg for 15% off. You can get Momentous clothing by clicking the link in the description. Algorex, use code Greg for 10% off. And for the cookbook, the training books, coaching plans by me and my team, I do it myself or I have Vince, my partner, helps me out. Apply by clicking the link. And until next time, I am out.